Welcome to Van Tate's Sports Office, an in-depth look at the world of sports, featuring exclusive interviews with our KRQE News Sports Director, Van Tate, sponsored by Caesars Sportsbook at Route 66 Casino.
Got another edition of Sports Office, and the man sitting across from me, I just like to call him AUT-O-Matic, Mr. Automatic. You probably remember him, Lobo basketball back in the day. Man, I'm about to put you in pads and a helmet, man. What's going on, Marvin Johnson?
No, that's not me. I did play football, though.
Yeah,
for a minute.
See, you know what? And that's something that Lobo basketball fans don't even know, man. Let's just talk about that just right off the rip, man. When did you play football?
Oh, I played football my freshman year in high school.
What position? I was
intrigued. I was a receiver, tight end, and defensive end.
Wow.
Yeah, but I did not. My mom kind of didn't want me to play, and then I was better at basketball, I thought. But baseball was my first sport.
What? Wait a minute. What's all this new stuff we're getting out of you, man?
But I was in a little small town, and they didn't have baseball in high school at that time.
Okay.
So I went to the next sport. Basketball was my next sport.
Wow. Baseball. Yeah. What position did you play in baseball?
I was a slugger.
Oh, really?
You little league baseball, you play everywhere. So I played it, but I like hitting.
Wow, man! It's just so how promising was that baseball career?
I don't know. I was, when I got up into like 13 years old, then that little league was done for us.
But how were you doing? Like,
I was doing good, and I was doing good.
Did you ever think about, like, when you were here to play basketball, and of course Lobo basketball fans know who you are because of the prolific career you had here while you were at the University of New Mexico, but when did you say, like, I'm done with baseball? You said you went to 13, but did anybody say, hey, man, wait, you're pretty good, you need to keep playing? Yeah,
you grow up in a little town like that. It's a basketball town or a football town. It was a basketball town, so everybody steered me to that, and I kind of baseball just kind of fell by the wayside.
What town were you talking about?
DeRidder, Louisiana. You know the Texas Southern that played the other night?
Yeah.
I was at the game. I went to see my friend John Jones. We grew up together.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went to see him. So it was a little small town, DeRidder, Louisiana.
Wow, DeRidder, Louisiana.
It's near probably, if you ever been to Houston along I-10, leaving Houston going to Florida, you pass through Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm just north of Lake Charles, probably 40 miles.
Man, can you make some good gumbo, Marvin?
Yeah, I'll do all right. I'll do all right.
We're talking football, basketball, baseball, gumbo. You got those skills?
I got those, yeah.
And you know what? When you were playing football, you said you were a receiver. What ended that? Like, did you get? But
I only played 1 year high school basketball. When I grew up, I'm probably a little bit older than you, but it was during the time of busing, integration. They closed my school down, which was a black school. I lived like 3 blocks from that school, and we all went to the white school, DeRidder High School. Our school was called Carver High School.
Okay. And
so they closed that school down, and so I had to take a bus another 15 minutes for a school I was right at.
Wow.
And in the mix, they fired all the black coaches, and then they only took a couple of players from the black basketball team from the all-black school that went to the DeRidder High, the white school. So I mean,
you were one of the guys who they kept around for.
No, I was out. I was only a freshman then.
Oh wow!
That's why I stopped playing.
Wow.
I was a freshman. Yeah, it was. I look back on it, was a trip. I mean, I remember like you having to go to the back door for restaurants you couldn't go to the front door to get service.
I came up kind of like on the tail end of that. They had gotten a little bit past that, but I do remember some of those things that you're talking about. But I never like indirectly had to. I've been called things and I've experienced all those things. But man, that's crazy. So automatic almost didn't happen.
Oh, automatic was almost not happening.
Wow, man!
Yeah. I only played 1 year high school ball but mainly because of that situation.
Okay, so you end up at New Mexico. How does this happen?
But that road to New Mexico went through Howard County Junior College in Big Spring, Texas.
So what happened? Did you walk on there? How did you?
Oh no, I went to a showcase deal, and they were there and they saw me play. I was gonna go to the Army. I just go here and try this deal out. You paid like $80. I said, I'll just go see what happens. And they hollered at me, if you can say today. And my sister had went to that school, and she was a basketball player. One of my older sisters had went to that school, and Howard County Junior College. And they said, "Oh yeah, your sister was here." I didn't really know her, but I ended up there, and I ended up going there for 2 years, and I led the nation in scoring. I mean, for 35 a game.
Man, you know what? This is insane, Marvin. I never knew this. You know, like this, and so all of this stuff is like by chance.
What?
You know, by chance. I mean, that you even got to come here.
Oh yeah.
It's
absolutely.
nuts.
It wasn't a yellow brick road path to. No. It was all kind of trails along the way to get to here. Yeah.
Well, and when you were leading a nation in scoring and stuff like that, so New Mexico calls you, or was there a lot of schools?
There was a lot of schools in front of New Mexico. I went up. The first place was Washington State. They had a coach named George Raveling. He was like one of the first black coaches in college basketball.
Yeah.
I went up to Pullman, Washington, and they played UNM football the other day.
Right.
Yeah, Washington State. So that was my number one choice. USC. I talked to Harvard and Tulsa. Those were in the mix. And the University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
So Norm Ellenberger, what did he do to get it right?
Wisner flew over there on a little chopper, a little crop duster, I don't know what do you call it, Cessna or something. He flew over there. They came in kind of at the last minute and talked to me. And I said, okay, well, I'll include this one, New Mexico State. That's why I almost went to New Mexico State. That's right. With Drew something. This used to be the coach. Drew, he was a black guy.
Okay.
I forgot his name.
So you almost ended up at New Mexico.
I sure did.
This story is just freaking me out. The whole thing is, man.
It was like before the portal. I went there. I signed.
You did sign at New Mexico State?
I said, then I went back about 2 months. Man, I ain't going to New Mexico State. I want something bigger.
And so
I just pulled out. As long as I kind of read the rules. As long as you don't show up and go to class on campus, you're good to go.
So John Wisner swoops in.
No, John swooped out of Louisiana after this. After he heard that I wasn't going to go to New Mexico State, he came to Louisiana and flew me back out here.
And so when that happened, you're just like, oh man, I'm here.
That wasn't the end of my wanderlust, nah.
No, what happened?
Tulsa came in to push it. Oh, you can ask Pat Key. Pat Key was involved. He was like, oh man, you need to make up your mind. You need to do this. Oh man, this is your place for you. Anyway, I left here, went to Tulsa, and stayed there 2 weeks.
Wow, man.
Didn't go to class though, because I knew if you went to class, you were done.
So
this is way before the portal.
Okay, so now you're at Tulsa. You're if I go to class, it's over. So what are you thinking, man? Like, are you
going back to New Mexico? This hick town, man. I don't know what I did. I just didn't know.
The conversation is just getting started. We have more on the other side.
You finally get to New Mexico. What was it that just like wowed you? Like, man, I'm sure because you were at Tulsa.
Well, I knew I could play when I came here because they had that boycott the year before. The whole team quit.
That's right.
The whole team quit. Larry Forte, Dale Slaughter.
And they had baseball and football guys quitting during that time.
Yeah, it was like, doing the racial stuff.
That was like in 74 or something like that, wasn't it?
No, that was 76. 75,
okay.
76.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was Wyoming, all the teams.
Yeah, I remember the Wyoming Six,
leaving. And so I knew I could come here to play right away. Leaving the junior college, you wanted to go somewhere you got an opportunity anyway to play right away. So I knew I could play here right away. And, it had the reputation back then. It was the Pit. The Pit was the Pit then. It was like, that was the holy grail for basketball in America. Because they were like second in the nation in attendance. Kentucky, and then UNM was, averaging 18 a game.
So
even with that ruckus with the players quitting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you come here and did they exceed your expectations or what? Or did you come here and think like, oh, no, I made a mistake?
At first, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
And so you were thinking like, uh-oh, why?
Why did I stay?
Why were you thinking that, and why did you stay?
Not really. I didn't really.
You didn't feel it, huh?
Well, I didn't really have anybody I could talk to say, this or that. I probably wouldn't listen anyway because I was trying to, it's a family here, Henry Estrada. I don't know if you know Henry Estrada. The Estrada family. They took me in. Henry was around the program. He was that was during the years when they had a freshman team. He was one of the players. He took me and hid me out of his house.
Oh, wow.
Because when I came back from Tulsa, I still didn't want to go. So I said, Henry, I'm going to just quit. He said, oh, no, man, come stay with us. We'll take care. We won't tell nobody where you at. They won't be bothering you. And they took me care, and I took me there, took care of me, and I settled down, and I stayed. In fact, I didn't play the first game. I didn't play the first game of my career at UNM. Because I still I hadn't decided. But I saw the first game. They said, just watch the first game. I did it.
You watched the first game and you were like, I'm in.
I'm in, yeah.
Talk about that first game, man. What was it like?
The first game that I was sitting and watched?
That you played. Well, let's go back to that one. What was it that did it in that first game that you sat and watched?
It was the fans. Back then, the students went all the way down to the floor. It was a whole different experience. Yeah. I mean, I was like, wow, I'm missing this. So the fans got me.
The fans
got me, yeah, when I saw that game.
So the first game you played in, how did it go, and what do you remember about that?
Well, I remember, I'm feeling good about, staying. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what I scored, probably 15, 16 points or something like that. I don't remember.
And so you have this career with UNM. Was it, when you look back on it, was that career more than what you thought it would be? Or considering that
I was fortunate enough to have the career I had. I mean, because you don't realize the attrition rate with junior college basketball players going somewhere, being a star like I was in junior college, then going to the next level and still doing the same thing, you rarely get that opportunity. So, it turned out to be better than I thought. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I say that because...
As far as basketball goes. Yeah. Okay.
So when you guys are doing this, could you feel how magical it was, what was happening with you all? Because every time that people talk about best Lobos, I could talk about Bliss's teams or Offers teams, but they always reach back for automatic and Coop.
Yeah.
They always, I have people like in my face, like, it was automatic and Coop, and I'm like, okay, man, all right.
Yeah, like I said, those are the make it happen days, and we kind of matched that. We made it happen. We were rated number 2 or 3 in the nation at the time when it was only really one poll. It wasn't, several different polls around like there is today.
Those games had to be, people go to the pit now and they experience the pit and like how the fans are, but those had to be really different to be a part of that.
Apex of Lobo basketball. It's been downhill since then.
You don't think it'll ever be like that again?
Number one, the pit's smaller.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get 18,000, 20,000 in it like we used to. It was like when we played against Las Vegas, we went there, they had, sellout. They came here, we had 20,000. I mean, that was like the game of the week.
Did they travel with you all like they do now?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And so I remember you speak about Las Vegas.
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank, yeah. You go back to you and Reggie Theus on the Chicago Bulls
that's
together.
Right. Yeah. He was drafted before me.
And so but you were outplaying him over there.
I played him every time I played against him. So I'm thinking, okay, but he's drafted first round. I don't know if you remember the NBA, but in those days, it was delayed.
It was just a few rounds,
No,
right?
No, it was delayed. It wasn't they didn't show live games. They showed them 10:30 delayed at night. So I'm just saying the NBA was like going away.
Oh, wow.
It was a different league. People think it was always the way it is. No, it was going away. And so they drafted him in the first round. Only kept 12 players on the team. They were financially, NBA
strapped,
was.
Yeah. So they basically
so they gave him a no-cut contract, and they drafted me second, 31st in the whole draft, and then they only kept 12 players. Like now they keep 10, 11 players around, and I was out. Even though I was a second-round pick. I played him, man. I know it was. He had a no-cut contract. He was drafted in the first round. But that wasn't me. I was competing against him.
Yeah, you just outplayed him.
I guess the Lord just had a different path for me to go after that.
Much more conversation coming your way on the other side.
We'll get back to the episode in a moment. Monica Wicki here, host of New Mexico Living. I wanted to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Route 66 Casino and Caesars Sportsbook. If you love sports and like having a little action on the game, Caesars Sportsbook is your go-to destination. For rewards and more info, go to Route66Casino.com. Now back to the episode.
So when that happened, were you thinking it was going to end up how college was? Okay, it didn't work out. Chicago didn't keep me. Some other team's going to come get me.
Yeah, but then I started looking around, and then those teams have players they don't know what to do with. That they cut. They don't know what to do with the players they got. Yeah, how they gonna bring you in? Yeah. So actually, I went back to and played in the used to be called the Continental Basketball League. In Wilkesboro, Pennsylvania. I went there and played the rest of the year, that first year. No, I was half a year I played there. And came back here, finished up my degree, and then I started coaching with Charlie Harrison.
Okay.
But Norm, not before that, Norm hired me as an assistant. And then that's when Lobo Gate came down.
Yeah.
I was down in Florida, Miami, Florida, recruiting. And Dee, the secretary, called me crying. "Oh, Marvin, please come back. You got to come back now. Get the next plane out. It's just you and Charlie." I said, "What are you talking about?" They arrested him. They surrounded the pit. Crying.
Wow, it was like that.
65 FBI agents showed up, and you and Charlie got to take over the team. And so I ended up coaching that year.
And so when you started coaching, did you see yourself as maybe having this long career as a coach one day?
No, man, I wasn't into it like that. I was still had too much play in me. I wanted to play.
And then with that said, I know how hard it was for Magic to coach. You know, like when you have that in you, you see somebody lollygagging or not cutting it, you might be hard on them, harder than you need to be because you know what it takes.
Right, yeah, and you just got too much you want to play.
Yeah.
And you see guys that not taking advantage of the opportunity. I mean, you're going to probably, be pretty hard on them. So I ended up going playing overseas for a while, had a okay career playing basketball overseas. Coach played, did a lot of different things overseas.
Well, that was fun. I mean, like that had to be good for like your life experiences.
Well, yeah, for a life experience and for knowledge.
Yeah.
About the
seeing
world.
Seeing other
seeing
places.
The world, living in different cultures, and then looking back at America, seeing it from afar and stuff. So yeah, it was a good experience. I came back here, and then when I stopped doing that, I was probably around 32, and then I started doing basketball programs and stuff that I do.
Your camps have been
now.
really successful, man. And what do you credit that to? Like, what did you have like a master plan, a blueprint that you followed?
When I came during the summer, Norm Ellenberger was supposed to did a camp. It was the first summer I was here, and he didn't. He had some kids, and he had some other arrangement he forgot he had made plans for. So he had to go do that. So he said, "Marvin, you want to do this camp?" I said, "I can't do a camp, Coach. What do you mean?" He said, "I'll show you." So he showed me, gave me a little plan to do a camp. That's where I got the idea from that.
Another thing by chance, Marvin Johnson, A Life by Chance.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing that for a while.
Do you guys work with their confidence? What do you guys do?
Yeah, whether they're going to play basketball or not, we try to build self-esteem.
Yeah.
Now our motto is believe in yourself. So we show them how to believe in themselves, which means preparation. You got to prepare yourself for it.
Yeah.
So it's not just you believe in yourself. You actually got to do things.
Right.
To make that happen.
Yeah, because that's what people don't understand about sports, the work. You got to put the work in, man.
You hear people go, "Oh, he was born playing." That's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's like,
because all the time and effort you have to put into it.
Yeah.
And then you just showed up and you good. Bull, man.
Yeah.
I hear them saying that about players all the time.
Yeah. It's like, no.
Man, it takes work.
A lot of work.
I mean, focus.
Would you coach now? Like, is it like you got thrown into the Lobo job the other time you were there?
Yeah. I was sure I would.
Yeah, because you would probably have a lot to impart to the kids. And I remember
life.
If I'm remembering correctly, did you coach the T-Birds for a little while? Or
yeah.
That's what I thought.
With the T-Birds, with
right.
No, not the T-Birds.
With
the Slam.
Yeah, with
Wisner. The Slam.
Yeah,
with
Wisner.
John Wisner. Me and him coached it. Yeah.
What do you see? Like, what are some of the things you want to do? Like, before you say you shut the chapter on basketball.
Before I shut the job?
Yeah, like if you say, I'm going to retire, I'm not doing anything, I'm traveling, or is there anything you want to do?
I'm still do this. They got to pass a law for me to stop.
Man, if basketball was food, you're telling me you probably eat yourself to death.
No, I'm more disciplined. I'm more disciplined now. I wouldn't eat myself to death. I'm more disciplined now. I would
But basketball for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack.
No, it's a balance.
Okay.
It's a balance.
But it's a balance. But it's a balance that you love.
It's a part of my routine.
Well, you know what? You're beloved now because every time I bring up anything about Lobo basketball, I hear Automatic. Automatic. I said, I know who Automatic is. Do you know Automatic? I said, I know. Ask him. I know him pretty well.
Yeah. No, fans are great. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, fans are great. This is, like I said, I grew up I told you a little time to Louisiana, and I've been here. This has been home, so.
All right.
It worked for me.
Well, I really appreciate your time. He's Marvin Automatic Johnson, former Lobo great. His work on the court, unmatched. Until next time, I'm Van Tate. We'll see you next time.